The Giants arrived in the Valley of the Sun looking to avenge a 4-game sweep by the Diamondbacks last month at the corner of 3rd and King Streets in San Francisco. So far, so good. His clutch hitting has led the Giants to 3 straight wins over their National League West rivals. Today, the Giants look to finish the job as they go for a sweep in the final game of the series next. Finally, here in the desert, we get day baseball. A Sunday afternoon ball game between the Giants and Diamondbacks as they wrap up this 4-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, remember, the Diamondbacks swept 4 from the Giants at AT&T Park. They'd like to do that to the D-backs here today. And in order to do that, Matt Cain's going to have another good start.
Well, he's looking for his first win of the year. It's hard to believe he's had to wait this long to get it. His last outing in particular, 8 solid innings, and gave up just 2 runs. He got shut out. So we'll watch him very closely. His rhythm in his last game was outstanding. Interesting, the guy that they're going to try and beat today, Ruby De La Rosa for the D-backs, has been their best pitcher his last 4 starts. He has been spectacular with an ERA of 2.08. In 3 of those starts, he gave up 1 run or less. Watch for Denard Span. He's got a 9 for his last 17. He's been red hot this series. He may be the key.
No Buster Posey, as Trevor Brown will do the catching this afternoon. All right. As Mike mentioned, Ruby De La Rosa, he's been terrific. Cain, good in his last start. Should be fun. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our CSN Various Studios for an update right after this.
BSN Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota. It's Toyota time. For big savings on legendary Toyota quality. Take a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here at Chase Field, the Diamondbacks have taken the field. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. 91 degrees here at the park, 78 inside, humidity at 12%, and the roof will be closed. So let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup that'll face Ruby De La Rosa. Denard Span's been hot in this series. Take a look. He's got 8 hits. Followed by Panik, Pence, and Belt. Crawford will hit in the 5th slot. Then it's Pagan. Gillespie gets a start. Duffy a rest. Brown gets a start. Posey a rest. And then Matt Cain will hit 9th.
On the hill today for the Arizona Diamondbacks will be the right-hander Ruby De La Rosa, 27-year-old, 6 feet tall, 210-pounder. He's in his 4th year at the big league level. And this is what he has done this year, 4-4 with a 3.93 ERA. But of late, the last 4 starts, 3-1 with a 2.08 ERA. And in 3 of those games, he allowed 1 run or less. Bottom line, he's the hottest starting pitcher that they have in their rotation. And he's had great numbers lifetime against the Giants. 4-1 with a 3.62 ERA against San Francisco.
Hunter Pence making sure that the Giants are ready to try to come up with a win for a happy flight to San Diego.
Well, they have a chance to atone for a 4-game sweep the D-backs laid on them in San Francisco. But to do it, they're going to have to do it against a hot pitcher. De La Rosa throws good. He's mid to high 90s with velocity. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Really good slider of late, and that has been the difference maker in him turning his year around.
So Span waiting on the very first pitch of the ball game. And here it is, and it's a call strike. So we get started on time at 1:10. Span 8 hits, as we mentioned during the lineups. Hitting at 280. Umpires today behind the plate will be Hunter Wendelstedt. It'll be Gabe Morales, Trip Gibson, and Jerry Lane. And Jerry Lane's the crew chief. There he is at third.
Jerry Lane. Hunter Wendelstedt, he's a low ball umpire, and he can be very tight early in the game, but he will loosen up.
This hit on the ground to second for Gene Segura, and that's how this game gets started.
Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Tomas, Herman, and Drury. The best arms is really in left field. Tomas has a cannon. Owens and Lamb on the left side of the infield. Segura and Goldschmidt on the right side. And Wellington Castillo will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Here's Panik hitting at 256, and he takes down low. He's got 5 home runs, 18 runs batted in. He's faced De La Rosa 11 times, and he's picked up 3 hits. This is popped up in fair territory as Owens moves over and puts it away. 2 outs for Hunter Pence.
So Chris Owens in center field yesterday, here playing shortstop.
He gets a fly ball.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it? First play he gets, fly ball.
The ability to move around, always valuable to any major league team's roster. Pence at 288. Hit a home run last night, and it was his 200th in his career. Chris Herman, first player to start at catcher and center field in the same season. Brandon Inge, swing and a miss, nothing in 2.
I mean, I don't know if there's a greater testimony to athleticism than to come out of the squat and go play center field. Come on.
Penn strikes out. De La Rosa, a very good top of the first inning. Cain coming out. A 0-0 ball game. Matt Cain in the lineup that he's going to face. It'll be Segura, who's hot, and then Chris Owings, who also in this series is very hot. Lamb, Goldschmidt, and Castillo. Chris Herman. Herman will be in center field. He'll hit in the 6th slot. Then it's Tomas, Drury, and Ruby De La Rosa.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the veteran right-hander Matt Cain, 31 years old, in his 11th year at the big league level. Cain 6'3", 230. That's what he has done in 7 starts. 0-5 with a 6.69 ERA, but that doesn't quite tell you the whole story. While he struggled early at times in those first 7 starts, he did not struggle in his last outing against the Toronto Blue Jays. He threw 8 solid innings, gave up a couple runs. He was shut out, and therefore he did absorb the loss, but he did not deserve it. When he's right, you're going to see a low 90s fastball. He will sink and cut. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he will throw anything at any time.
Segura hitting .340, and his first pitch is hit high and foul down the right field line and out of play. Segura 4 for 14 in this series. And the Giants really kept him quiet last night when he went 0 for 5. All right, that's who ended up with it. My hand hurts, but everybody behind me thinks that I am one well-rounded man.
Well, yeah, he should.
In tight to Segura, 1-2.
Who's not afraid, I might add.
The Giants would like to pitch Segura in tight. And got a hit off with Jeff Samardzija that shocked Samardzija because it was so far off the plate. So see what Cain does after back-to-back pitches on the inside part of the plate, and this is to Gillespie. 1 out.
Let's check out that defense behind Matt Cain today for the Giants. Starting in their outfield from left to right, it'll be Pagan, Span, and Pence. A couple guys getting days off today, one of which is Matt Duffy. So on the left side of the infield will be Gillespie and Crawford. Panik and Belt on the right side. And Trevor Brown going to be in the squad today, giving Buster Posey a day off.
Here's Owings at 295. And he takes a called strike. 6 for 11 in the series. A couple of RBIs. Does have ownage on Cain, however. He's 5 for 7 against Matt Cain as this is lifted into the seats. We're good. Yep.
Pass the test. Nice fastball right in on the hands.
He's throwing nice and easy, and it seems like his location is pretty good so far.
Dramatically improved from 2 starts ago when he really struggled with location against Colorado. He made some changes and it really paid off for him in his last outing. As we mentioned, 8 innings against a very strong offensive team in Toronto.
So 1-2.
And that's what he has to do. I mean, he has to mix his speeds, but he has to hit his locations. That's paramount. In the Colorado game, he missed a lot of locations in the strike zone, and he just cannot do that.
See what Brown does where the target is. It's back inside, and he got him.
And he got him Matt Cain style with a high fastball. Always been able to pitch high in the strike zone. Take a look at the first 6 starts for Matt Cain. 48% fastball. Then you see how he mixes his slider, his changeup, and his curveball. In the last start, he really rode that slider hard. I mean, it's more of a cutter, but it really was a good pitch for him. And I think you'll see more of that mix in this ball game as well.
Here's Lamb. Lamb hitting at 258. And he takes a little wide and maybe a little low.
Or maybe it was perfect and he just didn't call a strike.
Could have been a strike.
But that's really the MO of Hunter Wendelstedt, the plate umpire. He will start out tight.
2 for 12 on the homestand for Lamb. And Cain gets the strike. Gets 1 ball and 1 strike.
It looked like the exact same place to me. I'm sure Cain thinking the same thing.
One and 2. Diamondbacks have lost 4 straight. The Giants have won 4. Arizona 17-22. Giants are 21-18. And that's fouled out of play. Giants will have a day off tomorrow. And they'll enjoy that day off in San Diego. The Diamondbacks will not have a day off tomorrow. The Yankees will be in town tomorrow night. Got him. Cain with a very strong first inning. 2 strikeouts. Second inning coming up. And Brandon Belt is going to hit first.
On CSN Bay Area is brought to you by AAA. Get a free Giants all-season blanket. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details.
Well, join us play ball weekend on May 20th, 21st, 22nd On Sunday, the 22nd, Giants are giving away Buster Posey kids hampers to the first 7,500 kids, 14 and under, courtesy of Toyota. sfgiants.com/tickets. Belt hits one to right, and Drury puts it away. And the one pitch out will bring up Crawford. Crawford 1 for 9 in this 4-game series. Did not start in the game yesterday. Came in late, and there's a called strike. Crawford has had 5 hits and 14 at bats against Ruby De La Rosa. Pagan's on deck. Second inning. Swing and gonna miss. 1 and 2.
Good changeup. So early on in this game, De La Rosa has established all of his pitches in the eyes of these Giants hitters. Pagan De La Rosa he used to be just an incredibly slow worker, and they've really made an effort to pick his pace up.
And Goldschmidt makes the leaping catch. 2 outs.
Well, you want to know how high Paul Goldschmidt can jump? This is it. Max is out. Uses every bit of that big old first baseman's glove. And just took away extra bases from Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, he had time to time it too. Here's Pagan. Pagan 1 hit in 6 at bats in the series as he takes one wide, 1-0. Overall, still hitting over 300 at 306. Everything's good on base percentage, slugging percentage.
He is so happy to be back in the lineup.
So happy today, he decided to pull his pant legs up.
Why not? Mix it up. Way up. Hunter Pence, not quite Hunter Pence style.
Fair ball. Side retired. 6 up, 6 down for Ruby De La Rosa. Goldschmidt will lead things off. It's 0-0.
bottom of the second inning. Time now for our Togo's big play the Togo's way. And last night, Buster Posey hit a 2-run double in the top of the ninth inning off Daniel Hudson with the bases loaded. And entering that at bat, right-handed hitters were 0 for 26 against Hudson this season. And that was the first one. And that was our Togo's big play the Togo's way, the biggest hit in the game.
Buster, pretty psyched.
Now he's been grinding. Coming out of a bit of a funk. And that really was a classic Buster Posey swing.
Here's Goldschmidt, who looks at a strike.
Goldschmidt has been another guy who's been grinding.
Pence comes racing in. Hat comes off. He gets there, and that's out number one.
And another nice job of putting that fastball in on the hands of Paul Goldschmidt.
I tell you what, it's the one pitch that will really help you out in small ballparks.
Well, I agree. I think the tendency of a small ballpark is guys try and lift and separate. They try to get the ball airborne, and when they do that, they get a little long with their swing, and it exposes them to the inside corner.
Wellington Castillo. One ball and no strikes. A high fastball, 2-0. 3-0-1 for the Diamondbacks catcher. 7 home runs, 19 driven in. One for 8 in this series as he swings and misses.
Good
Two
breaking
balls
ball.
and 1 strike.
That's what you have to do. Cannot be predictable to the fastball and fastball counts, and you throw your other pitches to get the hitters off the fastball.
Almost hit him. 3-1.
He threw a changeup in there, 2-1, almost hit him. And Castillo gave him some stank eye.
Stank eye.
Not normal to see stank eye on a changeup.
3-2.
Again, 3-1 fastball count. Slider.
Got him. Looking for that knuckleball, just never showed up.
I mean, that's the beauty of throwing off-speed stuff at fastballs. All of a sudden, you get to a fastball count like a 3-2, and guys will start to outguess themselves. I think he was looking for some kind of off-speed stuff. And what does Kane do? He blows a fastball at 89 right through him. Grab some pine meat. That's 3 punch-outs in the first 5 hitters for Kane.
Here's Chris Herman. And Herman looks at a strike. One ball and 1 strike.
This will be the 8th time we've seen the Giants play the Diamondbacks this year, and it's the 8th different uniform we've seen the Diamondbacks have.
High and foul down the left field line. Herman 1 for 4 on this 4-game series.
First player in Major League Baseball to start a catcher in center field the same season since 2008. As we mentioned earlier, Brandon Inge was the guy that did it.
4 strikeouts for Kane. For the Giants, Connor Gillespie to lead things off. However, due to the popular demand, we've extended our offer to the Filipino Cap 2-pack, which includes game tickets to the May 23rd game and the July 5th games. You can enjoy the Filipino night festivities on May 23rd. Pick up the popular Filipino Giants cap, which is redeemable at the July 5th game only. sfgiants.com/special events. It is a great looking lid, which we'll never get one.
I want to get that. I know we asked for them, but they blow us off like an elbow scab.
Here's Connor Gillespie. Gillespie got a big hit in the game last night, a pinch hit to 1 out in the 9th inning. I think he has impressed everybody since the day he got to spring training this year. Works hard, doesn't say much, and he'll move around.
Well, I mean, he really strengthened the bench. I mean, he's going to give you a good at bat, and it really doesn't make a difference who's on the mound. Right-hander, left-hander, nasty as nasty can be. He's going to give you a good AB.
Taps this one foul. If that ball's rolling in foul territory, can he kick it?
No.
No. You can't blow it either like
Lenny Randle?
Lenny Randle did.
No, you can think about it, though.
Best off leaving it alone.
Yeah.
Low, 1-2.
Pretty straightaway defense employed by the D-backs against Gillespie. Play him slightly to the left field side in center field with Chris Herman.
Two and two.
You know, it's amazing to look at it. Hunter Wendelstedt, who's a son of an umpire that was around a long time in our generation, Harry Wendelstedt.
I loved Harry.
And he's a great umpire and a great guy.
Out of play.
The older Hunter Wendelstedt gets, the more he starts looking like his old man. The way he moves, the way he gets down in a squat, it's uncanny. Although different strike zones. Hunter Wendelstedt's more of a low ball umpire. Harry was more of a high ball guy.
Probably mom. Mom, low ball umpire.
Yeah, that's the book on Mrs. Wendelstedt. She preferred the low strike.
Golden Oldie moving pretty good. However, the khaki pants gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta shed the khakis.
Three and two.
Looks like they got the Golden Oldies off the first tee, threw a double flap helmet on them and said, all right, you're the shag guys. But they're better dressed for the golf course.
And then if you want to help us out being an usher, you can do that. Work in the concession stand, you can do that. 3 and 2. Gillespie wisely calls time. If you're a hitter and you're waiting and you're thinking, should I call time? Call it. Got him.
That's a good slider on a 3-2 count. Well, game one of the Western Conference Finals is on NBC Sports Network, and after the game, coverage continues with Sharks Playoff Central on CSN California. Why are we telling you this? Because Today at 4 p.m. on NBC Sports Network, you can see the Sharks take on the Blues game 1. And immediately following the game, Sharks play off Central and CSN California. So from all of us in the Giants organization, go Sharks.
Here's Trevor Brown, who doesn't waste any time. Hammers it to left. It is out of here. His 4th of the year. And that's the first hit of the game for the Giants.
First hit of the game. And De La Rosa had retired 7 straight. And just get it in, first pitch strike. And Trevor Brown had a plan. He was going to go up there looking for it.
Behind second base, it's Segura. 2 outs.
All right, let's take a look at it. They set an outside target. This thing goes up and in just above the belt. Boom. And in this ballpark, the carry is everywhere. Great place to hit. And Trevor Brown enjoys the trot.
Watch the blow off. Buster, fellow catcher.
Hey, what's up with that?
Buster went back, by the way, and Brown didn't make good.
Yeah, yo, Brownie, you need to grease the palm. Let's go.
Especially that guy. Span bounced out in the first inning. He taps this one to Segura, and that will end the inning. Brown hits the home run. His 4th of the year. And it's bye-bye, baby. 1-0 Giants.
On CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers.
Giants with an early 1-0 lead. Is Kane about to throw to Yasmani Tomas? 1-0. Tomas hitting at 308. He's had 2 hits in 10 at bats in this series. And a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. 4 at bats lifetime against Matt Cain with 1 hit. Swing and a foul into the glove of Brown. 1-2.
Tomas, barrel chested, short arm swinger. Just real quick middle end.
Hit the left over Pagan. 1 out.
This place is scary.
Here's our Geico quote. Bruce Bochy on Jake Peavy's start last night. He had a good, smooth delivery the whole game. He didn't grind so hard. Less is more sometimes, and it worked for him. Plus, it turns out he wasn't feeling very well.
Yeah, he had the flu. He didn't get much sleep the night before his start.
Sounded like it was the same thing that Belt had back in San Francisco.
Got to the ballpark yesterday, and they put him on an IV immediately. And he said, "I'm pitching tonight. I don't care what you do. Get me ready. I'm pitching." And boy, did he pitch well. 3 hits allowed in 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. And I want to point it out again. 4 of those 5 strikeouts were with runners in scoring position, and that's when strikeouts really mean something.
Strike 1-2. De La Rosa to follow. And that's tap foul. Now that pitch that Drury just fouled was a foot outside.
Yeah, he's in the swing mode. A little breaking ball way off the plate. There's the foot you're talking about.
I mean, that has to make you think that the inside part of the plate is there. Foul back.
Well, Trevor Brown thinking the same thing, calling the fastball in, and Cain not shaking him off. Again, planting that fastball beautifully in on the hands of Drury. Drury has really swung the bat well for the Diamondbacks this year, but he is in the swing mode now.
Up the middle and a base hit. First hit of the game for the D-backs. And that'll bring up Ruby De La Rosa, who in all likelihood is going to be asked to bunt. He's 0 for 11 on the season.
He hasn't got a hit yet, but he's hit the ball 8 times. He only struck out 3 times in those 11 at bats, so they know that he can at least make contact, even if he doesn't wear batting gloves. But I agree with you. A 90% chance of bunting here.
Cain is going to pick it up and throw, and he throws it down the right field line. So now the runners are going to be on the corners. I think the first thing you always do, Mike, is check to see where was that runner.
Well, in the runner down the first base line, was he inside it? Did the ball make contact with him? Cain, and his ball just bites. That's a lot of golf ball type of a roll. And Joe Panik over there coming from the second base position. This is going to be a hurried play because De La Rosa runs well.
Yeah, he might have beat it out anyway.
And Cain was not jimmy jacking around either. He knew he had to hurry, so it's going to be a base hit and an error.
Segura now with the tying run at third. And he bounces this one to Panik, to Crawford, to Belt. Double play. And that'll end the inning. It stays 1-0 Giants.
This moment is brought to you by Coors Banquet. On this date in 1981, Lynn Barker of the Indians pitched the 10th perfect game in Major League history and the first since Catfish Hunter did it in 1968. My partner Dwayne Kuiper started at second base for the Indians and he recorded 5 assists. And let's go back and take a look. Nice pick, partner. That was not easy. Nice play, partner. That was not easy.
Well, I should have been able to catch that for the last out. Instead, it was Rick Manning.
Was that nerve-wracking?
You know, it really was nerve-wracking, but you find out that you're concentrating so hard that you almost have a headache. It was really an odd night. It was cold. It was rainy. Probably about 7,500 people in the stands. And it was like one of the 30 games that was televised. He's got one, doesn't he?
Randy Johnson indeed has a perfect game. He did it against the Atlanta Braves. 4,875 strikeouts. The only guy who has more strikeouts than Randy Johnson was Nolan Ryan. 5 Cy Young Awards, 4 consecutively. And he got his 300th win in the Giants uniform. And first ballot Hall of Famer, just a great guy.
Yeah, they're telling us it was May in 2004. Was it in Atlanta?
It was. There's his son who just got up.
So here's Panik. Panik, Pence, and Belt. And some people, I'm sure, remember that Randy Johnson went to high school in Livermore, California. Panik off the end of the bat, foul, 0-2. Once he figured out how to throw strikes, that was it.
I'll never forget the first time we saw him was up in Montreal. Came up with the Expos, and Will Clark had at bat against him. And he started thinking, who is this guy? As Panik takes strike 3.
Panik thinking the same thing. There's Pence.
Randy Johnson got traded over to Seattle, and that's really where he blossomed. But he was a scary at bat.
Pence struck out in the first. Belt on deck, and a breaking ball misses somewhere. 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's the same breaking ball he threw Pence to strike him out in his first at bat. And I don't think he's seeing the spin on that breaking ball at all. He buckled when De La Rosa threw it high in a 1-0 count. And De La Rosa knows it. If De La Rosa throws him a fastball, he's doing Pence a favor. Nope. Another breaking ball, understandably.
Tap to short. Owings has it. 2 outs.
And we talked about Chris Owings, who played center field, has played center field most of this year. Today he's at shortstop. Does it take a while for you to regain your rhythm back as an infielder?
You know, I think, Mike, it probably is worse going the other way, just because this is his natural position. And it may take a couple of innings, absolutely, or a couple of ground balls. But that'll come back quick.
Now they realized once they put him out in center field, he probably wasn't going to get great jumps at first. But they felt that he had such great speed, he'd be able to overcome some of those bad first steps. But since we've seen him at center field, we haven't seen a bad step. I mean, he really has played a nice center field today.
Well, clearly the Giants are afraid of Chris Herman in center. They haven't hit him a ball. Foul back.
Chris Herman in center field today. Last night was the catcher for the Diamondbacks.
Behind the dish. There he is.
And this is what he has done in his career. He's caught 82 games, right field, left field, first base. First time ever in center field. I tip my hat to the guy. I mean, you can't hide anybody on the field. No. I mean, if you're not up to speed, you're going to get exposed. But center field, come on. Middle of the diamond. Catchers, second baseman, shortstops, and center fielders, you can't hide there. Hey, a 3-ball count. Brandon Belt.
Shocker. Payoff pitch. Hooked. Foul.
Heads up.
Slowed down by the top of the dugout. It's a good thing.
All right, everybody's smiling. That's a good sign. We're good.
Three and 2. Belt reaches. It's Crawford. And he will reach. So De La Rosa will pitch out of the stretch for the first time.
The longer it takes you to get into the stretch, the longer it takes you to find the release point in the stretch. And when you miss, you usually miss high. And why is that important? Well, Brandon Crawford, a good high ball hitter. He likes that ball above the belt.
Hit a soft line drive that Goldschmidt leaped for and caught. And he did indeed take a hit away from Crawford. And this is lifted out of play.
is right there knee top high, so not an issue finding that release point out of the stretch for Ruby De La Rosa.
Pagan on deck. 1-0 Giants on the Trevor Brown solo home run in the third. Oh, 2.
Good changeup.
Take a look at this. 23 straight. Oh, 2. Outside. Belt is 0 for 4 in the stolen base department. He will not be going.
No, I would be surprised.
I think the manager put the stop sign on Mr. Belt.
He took away his green light. Hey, that happens. But he still could steal him. But in order to do so, he's going to have to get the steal sign. When you have a green light, you can go when you get a good jump. That has been taken away.
Crawford stays alive.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, though. 23 straight games getting on base. Not always by hit, but by walk. His own personal high is 24. And as good of an eye that he has, I mean, you understand why he could put together streaks like that.
And Crawford chases, and that's going to end the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for De La Rosa. Owens is going to lead it off. 1-0 Giants.
Is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, June has some highly anticipated interleague showdowns at AT&T Park. June 7th and 8th, Red Sox coming for a 2-game series, and later, June 27th and 28th, it's going to be the Oakland A's coming to AT&T Park. Tickets are going fast. You need to go to sfgiants.com/tickets and get on board. Love to have you.
Here's Chris Owings. 1-0 Giants. Owings on the first pitch pops it up. Brown will come back, but it's going to be about 4 rows back.
Guy flagged it down with his hat. Had a bit. It was about a 6-man jump ball, and he pulled his hat off and snagged it.
And then he does the right thing.
Yeah, he's got it figured out.
Just outside to Owings. Little flare to right. Pence coming in, and Pence is going to make the running catch.
All right, we're going to make this play in the stands by our fan, the Ford right choice, and watch him take the hat off, come from out of nowhere, and say, "He got this one." That's a good play. That's our Ford right choice. Atta bit.
I like that guy.
Now put your hat on, please.
Lamb struck out in the first. It's a pretty close pitch right there.
He's been tight.
Swing.
So up and in hard stuff, sets up soft stuff away. Comes right back with a changeup and evens the count.
Down the right field line, fair ball. Pence will make sure that it's just a double.
Really one of the few times today that Kane has missed a location. They set that target on the outside corner, and this thing comes back up and in. And you can see how quick Lamb is to that side of the plate. Bent arm swing. And you can't tell me that after he saw the first pitch fastball that he was not looking there. He was looking in. The only way you're going to beat that pitch. Nice at bat.
Goldschmidt popped out to Hunter Pence in the second inning. And a strike at the knees.
Diamondbacks have been dissecting his swing, trying to figure out what he's doing wrong mechanically. And I think it's right between the ears right now. He's getting caught between thoughts.
Good breaking ball, 0-2.
And caught between thoughts. An example of a guy up there, I'm going to look fastball, I'm going to look fastball. And the guy throws a little nickel slider and he waves through it. Or if he says, I'm going to look in, I'm going to look in, and all of a sudden the guy goes away, and he loses his balance and he reaches for the location away, and that's kind of where he's at right now.
Up and in.
If you're not committed to what you're doing, if you don't have the discipline to stay on and with your game plan, it can put you in a funk. It can make you tentative at the plate. You lose your aggressiveness. You're feeling your way through the strike zone.
So the Diamondbacks catch a break as that goes to the backstop. That'll be a wild pitch.
And this immediately makes it a strikeout situation here with 1 out and a runner at third.
So 2-2 to Paul Goldschmidt. Giants now pull the infield in. This is where you gotta be heads up if you're on the infield with a strong guy like Goldschmidt. Tomahawk foul and out of play.
Good job of fighting that pitch off. That was right where Kane wanted to throw it at 90 miles an hour across the letters above the strike zone.
Well, he threw that one really good curveball. I wonder if you're going to see it again to Goldschmidt. Center field. And this game is tied on the sacrifice fly.
So in a 2-strike situation, Goldschmidt coming up big with enough fly ball. And you can situationally hit your way out of a slump too. That at bat is going to be perceived as a solid AB by all of Goldschmidt's teachers, coaches.
Castillo struck out looking in the second. Kane thought it was a strike. He asked Wendelstedt if it was high, and he said, yep. And a strike.
Well, you do that when you're frustrated. And in Kane's mind, he's had 6 pitches that really could have gone either way, and he hasn't gotten any of them. But if you throw that ball down around the knees or a little lower, you will get them with Wendelstedt.
Belt may have a shot. And he will, and that'll end the inning. So the wild pitch ends up being a big play, as it's now 1-1.
On CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Clipper. A million Bay Area transit riders agree using Clipper is easier than using cash.
Giants Insider Podcast is live on CSNBayArea.com. You can log in each week as insider Alex Pavlovich talks baseball with the players, coaches, special guests, and more on CSNBayArea.com. It's also available on iTunes. New ball game. It's 1-1. It's the 5th. And it's Pagan, Gillespie, and Brown coming up. Ruby De La Rosa is very efficient. Pitches are at 51.
Oh, he's been spot on since first pitch of this game. Established 4 pitches early. Spotting the fastball in and out, moving it around.
Oh, 0-2.
The last 4 starts that De La Rosa has had, I mean, he's been the best starter in the rotation for these Diamondbacks. Plus, he's always done well against San Francisco. They've never really done a whole lot with him. He's 4-1 lifetime. That's a good pitch. Another example of the tight strike zone. He tried to front door Pagan with the two-seam movement on that inside corner. And he didn't miss by much, if he missed at all.
Two and two.
But Wendelstedt true to form. I mean, low ball guy who's got a tight zone, but he normally loosens up as the game goes on. And you start to gain a little width. I mean, both guys today, Cain, De La Rosa, I mean, they're hitting their spots. But he's really made them throw extra pitches and made them work a little harder than they should have.
Center field. And Owings is going to put it away. And that'll bring up Gillespie. Gillespie had a nice at bat going against De La Rosa, and then finally De La Rosa struck him out. And a first pitch strike. Foul back. So a quick 0-2. Trevor Brown to follow.
Good pitch, good take. In an 0-2 count of the guy, I mean, that's right where you want to throw it. Let him help you out. Let him chase that ball down in the dirt. Not an easy pitch to take, especially when you're not playing every day like Gillespie. I mean, his starts have come few and far between.
Got him.
95 with two-seam movement on the inside corner. This time he gets the call. Strikeout number 5 for De La Rosa.
Brown, one pitch, hit a home run in the third.
First pitch fastball right above the belt. One of the few locations that De La Rosa has missed with the fastball, and Brown made him pay.
Low. And away, 1 ball and no strikes. Matt Cain is on deck. Foul.
Every time he throws something hard at that inside part of the plate, Brown's laying there wailing on it. That'd be the last time that De La Rosa throws him anything near the strike zone on the inside corner.
You said inside corner, not inside.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely backed him off.
Here's 3-1.
You know what he's thinking? I'm going to plunk this guy. I got the pitcher on deck. He just missed him.
Yeah, I did not like that foul ball that he just hit.
And then he comes back and paints him 3-1 with a perfect slider at the knees on the outside corner.
And a late call strike, and that'll end the inning. Kane will come out. He'll face Chris Herman. It's 1-1.
True stories. On this date, 1971, at Candlestick Park, Juan Marichal pitched the shutout against Bill Singer and the Dodgers. Giants won that ball game 1-0. Willie Mays hit a leadoff double in the bottom of the 7th, and Dick Dietz, the Mule, knocked him in with an RBI single for the only 2 hits of the game for the Giants. It was the 3rd of 5 complete games for Juan Marichal in the month of May. And that is our McDonald's True Story. Bill Singer hang with him.
Wow.
He threw hard.
Chris Herman to lead things off. And a wild swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Herman struck out in the 2nd. And the next pitch is a called strike. So it's now 0-2. On deck is Yasmani Tomas and then Brandon Drury. It's a 1-1 game here in the 5th. Pulled on the ground, foul.
Got that up a little bit too high. Trevor Brown wanted that breaking ball in the dirt with the 0-2 count. Got him with a fastball up above the hands his last at bat. Here they want to go soft away.
And a base hit to open up the 5th.
And he was not fooled. Dave McKay, the first base coach for the D-backs, giving Herman all the instruction.
Yasmani Tomas hit a fly ball to left in the 3rd. Giants have only 1 hit in this game. With that hit for Arizona, they now have 3. And this is rolled to Crawford. Crawford to Panic. Panic to Belt, and a double play.
Second double play that Matt Cain has induced today.
Yeah, the first one, the Diamondbacks had runners at first and third with only one out.
Just takes your momentum to the bag. Nice little underhand chest high feed. Everything to perfection, and they get the deuce.
Drury singled in the third inning.
Yeah, he singled in a 2-strike count too.
And a strike, 1-2. Madison Bumgarner on Tuesday. Tomorrow's a day off for the Giants. The Padres, who lost today in Milwaukee, are headed home, and they have not left any indication who's going to start. This is a ball driven to right for a base hit.
Another 2-strike knock off the bat of Drury. The last time it went to center field, here it goes the opposite way. And I don't think Cain's going to be really happy with either one of the 2-strike pitches he threw Drury. That last one was up.
De La Rosa reached on an error in the third inning. He bounces this one over the bag. Crawford dives. He can't get it. And with that base hit by De La Rosa, it's going to allow Segura to come up. And that's the first hit of the year for Ruby De La Rosa.
I mean, he had it 0 for 11, but you know, he only had struck out 3 times, so he was putting the ball in play. You put the ball in play, you're going to find a hole. Sooner or later.
Segura 0 for 2. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Panic on a short hop, and that will end the inning. Cain's going to lead things off. It remains 1-1.
Slugger 3-pack. That's right. Access to 3 games starting at $99, including the June 25th game. That's when the Giants are going to take on the Phillies, and we're giving away Madison Bumgarner Silver Slugger bobbleheads to the first 40,000 fans, courtesy of Chevron. The pack also will include a limited edition coin commemorating our 3 recipients of the 2015 Silver Slugger Award. For more information on the Silver Slugger 3-pack, go to sfgiants.com/minipacks.
It's a 1-1 ball game. Denard Span, a big day yesterday, had 4 hits. And this is what they look like.
All of them were off a left-hander. Patrick Corbin, the starter for the D-backs. He gave up 3 of them. And here, number 4. That one came off of Zach Curtis. And to Denard Span this series, the red spots are outs. And everything else is a knock. And 9 knocks. And he sped them all over the place.
The purple one hurt.
Yeah, he got hit in the shin with the purple one. With a fastball.
Here's Kane. Kane, little bloop into left field, and coming in is Tomas. 1 out. And now Spain.
Every fly ball, I think it's going out of here.
I know, it's true. Span has bounced out twice to the second baseman Gene Segura. And he shortens up to bunt, and he looks at a strike.
Wow. Very generous strike from an umpire who's been very stingy calling anything on the corners.
And the next pitch is wide.
That first one was worse than that one. Okay, I'm over it. Just want you to know I'm over it.
I know you are. You get over things like that very fast. Two-one pitch. Swing and a miss.
Changeup's been money. There's been a lot of swing and misses at that changeup. It's the kind of a changeup that will definitely change your at bat. Make you get short. Make you get defensive.
And it'll make that pitch look a lot faster than it really is.
And 95-mile-an-hour fastball doesn't need much help, but you're right. I mean, you see that changeup, you swing through it, now all of a sudden 95 looks like 105.
On the ground again to Segura, and he throws him out for the 3rd time. And that'll bring up Panic.
So a little bit of a shift employed, not much.
First pitch to Panik is outside for a ball.
You know, in the era of sabermetrics and all the data that they amass, every swing a guy ever takes, every ball he ever hits, they log it down and they develop patterns. I think it's a compliment when they don't put a shift on you. It tells everybody what type of hitter you are. You hit the ball all over the place. And Panik is that type of hitter.
Struck out looking in his last at bat. Three and 0. Will he? No. Second walk issued.
We're going to be thinking he's going to be swinging those 3-0s the rest of his career. All right, greater coverage of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night, Hunter Pence hit a 2-run homer off Patrick Corbin at the top of the 4th inning. Why is that a big deal? Because it was home run number 200 for Hunter Pence. He had 103 home runs as an Astros, 28 with the Phillies, and that was number 69 for Hunter Pence as a Giant.
Pence has struck out and grounded out here. This will be his 3rd at bat. I believe I read in one of our local papers this morning that he did get the ball back. And I think he said, look, I don't really collect a lot of things, but yeah, I'm glad I got this one. He's having a hard time with that one pitch from De La Rosa.
He's not picking up the breaking ball. When you're not seeing the spin that tips the pitch, you're thinking it's a fastball for the longest time. You commit to it and then it's just gone. And if he doesn't see it, don't throw anything else. If you're Pence and they're pounding with nothing but breaking balls.
Yeah, this is the reason that Pence got the baseball back. Thanks.
There you go. Milestone 200th home run. Thank you very much. Could have had a negotiation.
Might have had better seats today.
Plus a uniform top, baseball bat,
Car,
glove.
Pence was willing to give him a car.
Vacation in Cabo San Lucas.
A house. He was going to buy the guy a house.
Gone.
Threw it back. Ow. 1-2 pitch. Panik with his lead. He does not go. And Pence just got a piece. He did not. And that'll end the inning. 7 strikeouts for De La Rosa. The beat coming up.
best baseball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. It's Toyota time for big savings on legendary Toyota quality. Take a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
The 2016 All-Star Teacher is brought to you by Provident Credit Union. You can vote for this special teacher at csnbayarea.com/AST. This is the 10th season. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Owings to lead things off. Swing, ain't gonna miss. No balls and one strike.
Got a good old-fashioned duel going on today between Cain and De La Rosa.
Pence made a nice running catch on a ball that Owings hit in the fourth. Kind of a soft line drive to right field. Oh, 0-2. And he just got a piece.
Another good plant job with that fastball in the hands from Matt Cain. Now you get a guy that's swinging at fastballs off the plate in. I mean, you can go right back in there again and keep climbing the ladder, raising it up just a bit. Or you can go something soft in the dirt away. Lots of options here.
Look out, 1-2.
Up and in. When you're trying to get out of the way of it, though, that becomes a pretty easy take. Self-preservation take. Back in hard.
Out of play. So a good battle between Owings and Cain. Brown holds on and he got him.
Just stayed inside above the hands. Boy, he's had nice command of that inside corner. Guys swinging at it, just keep going there. See ya.
First strikeout since the second inning. It's the 5th in the game. Here's Lamb. Lamb has one of the 5 hits off of Matt Cain, and that was a double in the 4th. Curveball for a strike.
Hadn't thrown many curveballs, but he likes to throw them early in the count. He likes to steal strikes with it. Goldschmidt getting ready on deck. Yeah, Trevor Brown thought that should have been called a strike. You see a catcher hang on to it a little bit longer than normal. He's letting that umpire know that he thought he missed one.
Goldschmidt is on deck.
You know, a tip to young catchers, if you watch Trevor Brown, he's really got nice mechanics behind the plate. Nobody on base. You know, a lot of young catchers, little league, they stay on their toes. But a big league catcher, he'll stay on the inside part of his foot, and he'll use his whole foot to brace himself, give him a good solid foundation. So the weight is on the inside part of his foot from his toe to his heel on both feet. And it really gives you the ability to move left or right too. And that's proper technique.
Lined. Pence is going to reach up and make the catch.
And he didn't have much time for air there. That ball was lit. High backhander. And Pitts takes away extra bags from Jake Lamb.
Maybe only because a little bit of a top spin kept that from being out of the park. Here's Goldschmidt. And a strike. Kane said, why not? I'm going to go back out there again.
No, he thought he made a pitch. It should have been called a strike.
Foul out of play, 1-2. High, 2-2.
Move the ball around, movement, change speeds. Forget that he's hitting 224. Pitch him like he's hitting 324, and that's what Kane's done against Goldschmidt today.
And he runs it inside, and it's now 3-2. He's got Wellington, Castillo on deck, and pitch count now for Kane is at 83. This will not be a challenge, or at least it shouldn't be.
I mean, he's just a sleeping giant of what he is. I mean, he doesn't have his numbers going yet. His batting average well below what it should be.
And the walk.
But by the end of the year, his numbers will be where they normally are. In a 1-1 ball game, Kane just showed him some respect.
Here you see pitches by inning.
I mean, he's under where he should be. At the end of 6 innings, you want to be at 90, so he's ahead of the curve.
And a tapper foul on the first pitch. A strikeout, looking, and a pop up to Belt. Those are the two at bats for Castillo against Matt Kane. Out of play. And I think you see pitches like that, you can see Kane's got that late life that he always used to have on that fastball.
Yeah, his command the last 2 games have just been exceptional.
Hannett is going to get to it. The throw is going to go to Crawford. Everybody's safe.
So Kane does not make a mistake here. I mean, he throws the breaking ball ahead the count 0-2 where he wants it, off the plate, down. And Castillo in the survival mode, just kind of out there poking off the end of the bat. He winds up throwing a little thing out there that nobody could get to.
Herman singled in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. And he takes a curveball for a strike. Lamb hits one on the nose. Pence makes a great play. He's out. Castilla does that. He's got a hit.
It's baseball.
0-2.
It is a game that makes you talk to yourself. And I don't mean once in a while.
One and two. Two balls, two strikes.
I don't think Cain had any intention whatsoever to throw that curveball across the plate. Remember the last at bat that Herman had, the 2-strike count, he hit a pretty good off-speed pitch for a base hit. He defended that well. I think Cain's thinking the best bet to get this guy out is to get him out with something hard.
Three and two.
Getty calling Mark Gardner down the pen. And you're going to see somebody get up and start getting loose.
Out of play.
Now 2 fastballs in a row. One was above the strike zone. That was a 4-seamer. Here he comes back with a 2-seam movement on the outside corner. And that was not a challenge either. That was on the outside corner. Herman did well to fight that off. Albert Suarez starts to heat up.
Three and two. And the walk.
Just a half a ball low. So that's going to bring Dave Righetti out. And really, for one big reason, just to give him a breather. It'll allow Suarez down the bullpen to get a few more throws. But this has been the one inning where he's had to throw a lot of pitches. So right now, Righetti, give him a breather.
And most of them have come after the first 2 outs have been recorded. .27 pitches this inning for Cain. Tomas has hit a fly ball to left and he's bounced into a double play. Belt. Side retired on the first pitch. Threw him a little hanging breaking ball up and in. And the D-backs leave him loaded.
What a great pitch. For our Toyota game summary, it's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, and we're going to show you the two key figures in this game. It's been a pitching duel, Matt Cain against Ruby De La Rosa, and here's how they've done against one another. Through 6 innings, 1 hit allowed, a home run, and that is Ruby De La Rosa's only mistake. He has struck out 7. Matt Cain has been fantastic. 6 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts. 95 pitches for Cain, 81 for De La Rosa, and that is our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
Cain has done a terrific job this afternoon, as has De La Rosa, who's about to pitch to Brandon Belt here in the 7th. Overshift is on for Belt. Lamb doesn't trust him as he's going to come in. Might be Owings instead of Lamb on the left side of the diamond. And the pitch is low.
And they'll hold Owings at that position until the at bat goes to 2 strikes, if indeed it does. But I mean, that's something that Belt has created for himself. I mean, that's limited range for the left side of the infield. I mean, number 1, you got 1 guy there. Number 2, he's playing even with a bag. So if he doesn't show bunt in spring training and several times during this early season, Owings is playing back at the cut of the grass. So it does expand his ability to get a hit on that side of the infield.
Belt hits a fly ball to left. And there is Tomas to make the catch. And a little carry. And that'll bring up Crawford. The only run of the game for the Giants, Trevor Brown, if you just joined us, hit a home run in the 3rd inning. And it's the only hit the Giants have.
First 2 days of this 4-game series down here in Arizona, there was very little humidity and the ball was jumping. Yesterday we started seeing more clouds, a little more humidity, and all of a sudden it becomes a pitcher's ball game. Same thing, we woke up this morning, you could actually feel some humidity in the air down here, and true to form, this has been a great day to pitch, and both pitchers have pitched well.
Crawford with a mighty swing, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnny Cueto will pitch the 2nd game on Wednesday in San Diego. 1-2 now to Crawford.
Yeah, starting pitcher, it's a great life. Work 1 day, you get 4 days off.
Crawford got a piece.
Barely. Changeup he has not picked up well. And to De La Rosa's credit, he has not hung it. When he's throwing it, it's started low and it's dropped down below the strike zone.
In the dirt, 2-2. Pagan on deck. Down low. 3-2.
Went back there again, down low. Man, that's just pretty good take right there. That wasn't easy. De La Rosa just has not made many location mistakes.
Here's the payoff to Crawford. And Crawford bounces this one and hits the bag, or it was close to hitting the bag, and Goldschmidt makes the play. Johnny Cueto yesterday, remember he was with the Royals last year, and
Kyle Vina, who is part of the Kansas City Royals organization, came to Arizona with one intention, and that was to give Johnny Cueto his ring.
It's a beautiful ring.
It really is. It's fantastic. Striking.
The idea is to have the bubble bigger than your head.
He's working on it.
Here's Pagan. He might do it.
Taking his time.
He might do it. Yeah.
I'm saying he's doing it.
Back to the game. 2-0. Oh.
Yep. It always ends the same way.
If you're wondering what starting pitchers do in between their starts, that. My partner had more dugout games than any possible human being alive.
Not a bubble blower, though.
No, that wasn't one of them. Three 3-0 to Pagan. And the walk. Well, that's a rally for the Giants.
Yeah, it is. Third walk of the day given up by De La Rosa. And activity in the pen for the D-backs. Pitch count has all of a sudden become a friend of the Giants. I think at this point they would prefer to have somebody else other than De La Rosa.
I think maybe something's wrong with him because the trainer's out.
Chasing the left-hander, Tyler Clipper, the righty. Maybe he's blistering up. I mean, you couldn't tell by looking at his pitches. Mike Butcher is very concerned. I mean, I don't think he's out there to give people a chance to get loose. They're ready to go in that pen.
I mean, when you go out with the trainer and check and you decide he's healthy, now you go talk to the pitcher. That has to be a visit.
Yeah, it does.
And look, how big of a deal is it? It's probably not a big deal at all.
Well, 94 pitches into the ball game. You're right. It's not a big issue.
Here's Gillespie. De La Rosa's gotten him twice. Once swinging, once looking. Low 1-0. Now coming into the game, Gillespie 2 for 2 lifetime against De La Rosa, a double and a home run. And a quick toss. Pagan is back.
Always a base stealing threat. Although I don't think he's running 100%. Coming back from a hamstring injury.
Pagan leaning. He does not go. And that's hit high and foul and out of play down the left field line. Trevor Brown would hit if Gillespie extends the inning. He's on deck. 2-1.
Well, if it gets to Brown, I'm not sure that Chip Hill will allow De La Rosa to face him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Given that Trevor Brown has had good at bats, including the only hit that the Giants have hit off of De La Rosa, a 1-run home run.
Let's see, he's got a home run that's fair and a home run that's foul.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Off the end of the bat, foul, and you can see the end of the bat with those cup bats that chipped. So new lumber.
So everybody pitches in. Wendelstedt picks up some. Goldschmidt picks up some. There's pieces all over the place. Cup bat. Firewood. Well, you don't want to have a cork bat if that ever happens. So Connor Gillespie just passed the test. He's using a legal bat.
Two pitch. And this one is going to the backstop.
So breaking ball in the dirt. Castillo could not keep it in front of him. And now the Giants have good speed at second base. This is the first time all day that De La Rosa will have to pitch with a runner in scoring position. That's how dominant he's been. I mean, I know he gave up the home run, but pretty much that's been it.
So another conference. And now De La Rosa chooses to go after Brown. He didn't have to throw Gillespie a strike. So this will be pitch number 100 for Ruby De La Rosa. And he pulls it foul. So we'll do it again.
And that had some hang time on it. He hadn't hung many breaking balls, and that was one of them on pitch number 100. These are all things that are being noticed in the Diamondbacks dugout.
Pagan with his lead. And Brown's going to hit. And we'll watch Chip Hale to see what he does.
Wow. Here he comes. I'm De La Rosa. I got a problem with this one.
So it's going to be Clippard. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. We'll be back. with MLB.com at Bat app. You can stay up to the moment at any moment. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
New pitcher now for the Diamondbacks will be the veteran Tyler Clippard, 31-year-old, 6'3", 200-pounder, and is he's in his eighth year now at the big league level. Just finished a completion of 7 full. This is what he's done this year: 2-1 with a 2.81 ERA, 15 strikeouts against 4 walks. How's he do it? He's got a low 90s fastball, changeup primarily. He also has a curveball and a slider. He had been a starter coming up in the minor leagues with the Yankees, but for the most part he's been a reliever in his career. And when you take your bats against him, you're thinking about fastball, changeup.
And Tyler Brown is going to face him for the very first time in his career. And he's going to swing and foul this one straight back and out of play. Brown homered in the 3rd, then struck out looking in the 5th.
Two pitches, 2 fastballs, 0-2. And he still has not shown him his money pitch, and that's the changeup. We first saw Clippard with the Nationals, and he was throwing 95, 97 with the changeup. That fastball has tamed down a little bit, calmed to the tune of around a 90-mile-an-hour average, but still has a good changeup.
And that'll end the inning. It remains 1-1. One ball game. Kane is still in the game, and he'll be facing the bottom of this Diamondbacks lineup. He's been very good today. He's had to pitch in and out of a couple of jams. It'll be Brandon Drury who's going to hit first. And then Michael Bourn, who was just activated today. And then Gene Segura.
Yeah, she's feeling it.
Kind of. So here's Drury, who has 2 of the 6 hits off of King. And the first pitch to Drury is way outside for a ball. It's 96 pitches for Kane. Two and 0. Suarez still throwing in the Giants bullpen.
And I'm not sure if they're going to let Matt Cain get back into his stretch, given that he's throwing 97 pitches. And that's something they'll tell a guy as he walks out of the dugout to the mound. You're in there, but you get back in your stretch, we're going to go to the pen. It's a little extra motivation.
Yes, of course. Little pop up, and that's going to fall. That's the second one of those, and it's the 3rd hit for Drury.
It's unbelievable.
And here's Bourne.
So Bochy staying in the chair, and Cain's going to get a chance to pitch through this.
David Peralta went on the DL today, and Michael Bourne was called up. And he shows bunt, and the pitch is high.
Michael Bourne could put pressure on you even in a sacrifice situation because of his speed. So good speed at first with Drury, good speed in the batter's box.
And a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Carved a little slider on that backside to take out a strike.
And that means if he does lay down a bunt, you have to speed things up.
The element of speed changes so many things.
And the bunt. And Belt to panic. A good job by Bourne.
So his career as a Diamondback starts with a sacrifice bunt, and he does the job.
Lopez is also in the bullpen. Segura is 0 for 3. Bounced out 3 times, once into a double play.
Well, that's been one of the strengths that Cain has had today. He's really calmed down the first 2 spots of the D-backs lineup. He has not allowed the Rabbits to set the table. There you see Lopez and Suarez. Lopez is thinking about one guy. He's thinking about Jake Lamb.
And a strike.
Segura guessed wrong twice, and he's in an 0-2 hole because of it.
Target is in, and it's out of play.
I tell you, all day long when they put that inside target in, especially the guys hitting off the right side, Kane's been able to locate it beautifully. So 3 pitches, all fastballs. And Kane, after 106 pitches, still looks good.
Low and in, 1-2. And the 1-2 is up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's exactly what he wanted to do, above the hands. And again, inside with conviction.
Hit out to right. There is something on it. Pence back, and he's going to make the catch. And moving to third is Drury.
Wow, in this ballpark, you just don't trust a fly ball, even opposite field power from a leadoff hitter. A breaky ball that was up at the belt away. But Segura knew it immediately. It wasn't going out, but it scared everybody else, especially 2 broadcasters sitting up here.
Well, you just figure it's just going to keep carrying. Nice block by Brown. 1 ball and no strikes. Owens has struck out twice, and he's hit a soft line drive to right field. Tap to Crawford. Side retired. Kane is going to walk off, having done a great job this afternoon. On Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pregame Live will start at 6:30 right here on CSN Bay Area. The road trip will be continuing to San Diego, and it'll be the Padres in game 1 of that 3-game series. It's a 1-1 ball game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
So Daniel Hudson coming into this one. He was the losing pitcher in last night's ball game. 17th time he's come in. He's been lights out. 11 strikeouts in 16 1/3. He's got a good fastball. It goes mid to high 90s. Good hard breaking ball and a changeup.
So Blanco is going to hit. Blanco hitting for Kane, and then Span, and then Panik. So 3 left-handed hitters facing Hudson. And the first pitch is a called strike. Hudson got the loss in the Giants' win yesterday. Down low. So Kane has a shot at a decision, a win. And Blanco is out in front, and that's out number 1.
Well, and I think the important thing too for Matt Cain, look, his last outing against Toronto was fantastic. He finished 8 strong innings, and in that game he had a lot of great command with all his pitches. You always look at what is he going to do in the next start, and boy, he backed it up. He was outstanding today with a great command of 4 different pitches in a very tough strike zone. And he's got to be feeling very, very confident about how he's throwing the ball right now.
And Span fouls this one.
Giants starting pitchers this series. You got 7 strong out of Cueto. You got 8 out of Samardzija, 6 out of Peavy, and 7 out of Kane. I mean, that's the best time through the rotation all year. You get 5 guys throwing the ball and feeling pretty good about themselves.
Called strike. 0-2 to Span. Span's bounced out 3 times to Gene Segura.
This has been a nail biter.
One and 2. Giants have had 1 opportunity with a runner in scoring position, and that was in the 7th. They only have 1 hit, and that was a home run by Brown. Tapped slowly again to Segura. 2 outs. And here's Panik. Panik is 0 for 2. He did draw a walk in the 6th.
Hunter Strickland, Javier Lopez. Going to be Javier Lopez to open it up, I would imagine, with Jake Lamb to lead things off for the D-backs in the 8th, the left-handed hitter.
In the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
We're going to need a little time here. That hit Hunter Windelstead in a bad spot. And I imagine he's chewing on Wellington Castillo a little bit here, going, seriously, you need to block that. Get a body in front of it. Killing me back here.
One ball and 1 strike. Panik trying to get on for Hunter Pence. And he rolls this one to Goldschmidt, and that's not going to happen. Bullpen coming in. Lamb to lead things off.
Honda, and we think Matt Cain is that man today. He was outstanding, coming off a great start against the Blue Jays. He comes here into an offensive place and he shuts down the Arizona Diamondbacks through 7, just 1 run allowed. And Matt Cain is our player of the game, brought to you by Honda.
So Goslin is going to hit. He is hitting for Lamb. And he'll take a pitch low and in. 1 ball and no strikes when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up in brake experts.
Javier Lopez continues to whittle down the ERA into the 4s now. Had been up in the 9s, and he's just steady. Gone down there and done what he normally does. Whittle it down. How does he do it? Well, a high sidearm delivery, 2 types of fastball movement, curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Well, it's 3-0, and clearly Javi Lopez does not want to walk Goslin, so this should be a pretty good pitch to hit. And it's ball 4. And that's it.
So Hunter Strickland going to come in and face Paul Goldschmidt out of the stretch.
Strickland in, Lopez out, Goslin at first. It's 1-1. We'll be back. bottom of the 8th inning, the Diamondbacks, by way of a walk, have the potential lead run at first base, and that's Gosling.
So you see the numbers for Hunter Strickland as he comes in for the 18th time. And he's going to get challenged now. I mean, it's a great form of strategy to open up that inning with a left-hander, but if that left-hander walks the guy he faces, now all of a sudden you got a guy who's got to come in and clean something up, and that's what Strickland's going to try and do. Mid to high 90s with the fastball, hard breaking ball, and a split is what he features.
And Goldschmidt takes a strike at the knees at 96. Gosling can run. He's at first. On the ground, Gillespie to Panic, and that's it. One out.
Just not going to have much time on a medium speed ground ball to get Paul Goldschmidt in the back end of a double play. He just runs too well.
So there's the accurate throw by Gillespie, and that's what you need. You got to make sure you get one.
And he's been spending a lot of time on that throw. I mean, for the longest time he had like a little high sidearm delivery, and it would cause his throws to be errant. He and Ron Woodis have put a lot of work in to make more accurate throws, and it just paid off on that play. That was not an easy throw to make.
Castillo takes a pitch for a strike at the knees.
That's some giddy up. Big time giddy up at 97. Is it harder to adjust to more speed when you've faced a guy like Kane who's been around 90, 91 all day? Now all of a sudden you see 97, or is it harder to go from 97 down to 91?
It's harder to go up. Get on the ground to Crawford. Crawford to Panic. Panic to Bell. Nothing to it. Strickland comes in, gets 2 ground balls, and the Giants are going to hit in the 9th. And it'll be Hunter Pence to lead things off. Game 1, and when is that coverage going to begin? Today at 4 on NBC Sports Network. Immediately following the game, you can see Sharks Playoff Central on CSN California. Go Sharks.
Go Sharks indeed.
And then tomorrow night, go Warriors. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
So the closer for the Diamondbacks coming into this one now, Brad Ziegler, and he's had a great start to this season. He's 7 for 7 in save opportunities. He's obviously not a save op. How's he do it? Well, he's a submarine guy with two types of off-speed stuff. He's got the fastball that's going to be around mid to 80s on a good day, kind of a flat breaking ball and a changeup.
And this is hit right back up the middle, and that'll be a base hit for Pence. So Pence reaches for the first time, and that's the second hit for the Giants.
I'm not sure if that caught a piece of Ziegler. But they're going to do a little inventory right now. May have caught him somewhere.
On the hand?
It may have been the hand.
It doesn't take much, does it, to get a little bit of a stinger in there.
And if you get a stinger, especially on a fingertip, you're in real trouble. You can't continue. So everybody's got a few smiles on. Apparently everything's okay. Let him throw a couple. I mean, even if you get jammed as a hitter and just to have bees in your fingers, it's tough to control your pitches. When you take one full on to your hand and a comebacker like Ziegler did, and Chip Hale is trying to talk him off the field right now.
Okay. He just said to him, he said, you know, Belt is 5 for 9 against you lifetime. So I'm going to leave you in, but try to make me look good, okay?
That's probably what he said.
Belt walked in the 4th. He's 0 for 2. And he doesn't waste any time, and that's a base hit to right field, and Pence is going to put on the brakes. Thought maybe Pence might challenge Drury, but problem is the fences are fairly shallow here, and right fielders, because of that, are also shallow.
And you see the numbers, 6 for 10 with a double. And against a guy like Ziegler, that's ownage, because he is funky. Now you have a decision if you're Bruce Bochy. I mean, do you give up an out here?
Crawford's 3 for 9. Angel Pagan 0 for 12. On the ground and a base hit. And now we got a challenge. Here's the throw home. Not in time. Both runners advance. Giants lead 2-1. Segura missed it by about a foot.
And they moved him towards the bag in double play depth. And that was all that Crawford needed. A fat fastball challenge right down the middle of the plate. And Segura looked like he even had a little bit of a lead to the bag, and he could not come back the other way. And this time, Roberto Kelly challenges Drury, who's got an average arm.
And now here's Pagan. Remember, Pagan, I said, is 0 for 12 lifetime against Brad Ziegler. And he takes wide, 1-0.
Well, Ziegler could nibble here, too, to set up the force. He's got an open base. Along with the throw not being in time to get Pence at the plate, it allowed Brandon Crawford a chance to move up to second base, which took out the force. This is a significant play because Ziegler's a guy that puts the ball on the ground consistently.
And this is rolled foul. Connor Gillespie on deck. Roll foul again.
Ziegler for the longest time was a sinker slider guy. That he came up with the changeup, and all of a sudden it's a swing and miss pitch to both righties and lefties, and it moved him right up the ladder into the closer role. Hunter Pence cooling down after putting up a run on the board.
And Goldschmidt's got it.
Well, that's a great at bat. Do everything right, hit the ball on the screws, and finds a glove.
So here's Gillespie.
And I mean, there's a reason you've never had a hit against the guy. And a lot of it has to do with you hitting at him balls at Gold Glovers.
And that pitch that was supposed to be part of the intentional walk almost went to the backstop.
Well, and if you're Brandon Belt, anticipated at third base.
Brown will be the hitter, and he'll be hitting with the bases loaded and one out. And now the trainer's coming out again.
Well, when the adrenaline wears off and you start to get a throb and you're not really able to feel your pitches, you got to get out. I mean, right now, I mean, even the one out they've gotten in this inning was a bullet, and that's what Chip Hale's seeing.
Buster Posey's come out, so he's on deck. Brown on the ground. This could be a pair. And it is. So Ziegler gets out of the mess with the double play ball. And Casillas coming in.
We have a new pitcher now for the Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. It's going to be Santiago Casilla coming into this one. It is a save opportunity. He has 8 saves on the year, 1.84 ERA. He also has a win, 18 strikeouts and 14 2/3. And for Casilla, who is going to give you low to mid 90s with 2 types of movement on the fastballs, more 2 seams than 4 seams. A slider, curveball, and a changeup. Giants also make a defensive change in their infield. Matt Duffy comes in and he'll play third base. Connor Gillespie is out of this game. And Duffy will hit the 9th spot should he need to. But that's not the plan.
Herman to lead it off. 25,007 here this afternoon. Chris Herman is 1 for 2. No balls and 1 strike.
I can't remember the last time he's opened up an appearance with a first pitch changeup, and that's exactly what he did. He had Herman way out front.
Well, I don't think Chris Herman was thinking that.
No, he's up there looking for a fastball challenge middle away. He's got 4 home runs, so he's thinking tie this bad boy up.
And a called strike, nothing in 2.
A late call there, but a good hard snapping curveball, which has been his signature these last couple weeks. Trevor Brown wants another one. See one good curveball, let's see another one. And that's where you put it when you have Count Levers as a pitcher in the dirt. So from that perspective, Herman, a pretty good take.
Way off the line at third is Duffy. Crawford shading Herman to pull. Brown said he caught it on the foul. Bruce Bochy's coming out. Jerry Lane's going to end up getting involved in this if he did indeed see it.
Now another curveball. They're staying with the hook. And once it hits your chest protector, that's a dead ball, so that's not going anywhere. Ball comes up, hits him. It doesn't hit the ground, granted.
So you're once it hits the chest protector, done.
Done.
It's like a fly ball hitting the wall and then an outfielder catching it.
That's it. I mean, he did allow the ball to hit the ground, but it's not a reviewable thing. I mean, these guys are talking about it. All they're talking about is did it hit the ground or not. Goes up, hits his chest protector, and he catches it. Doesn't hit the ground.
You know what Chip Hill's thinking. The longer this conversation goes.
Yeah. They rule in favor of this. Chip Hill's got nowhere to go. Yeah. Once it hits the chest protector. So called correctly. Nevertheless, good pitch.
1-2. way outside, 2-2.
And they've really softballed him. They stayed with changeups and curveballs this whole at bat. They have not given Herman a fastball.
Got him.
Another curveball down and in, and this time Herman cannot do much about it. That's a good curveball. It's excellent command too, and he had a chance there 2-2 to throw it out in the strike zone and have him chase. See ya.
I mean, it's almost as tight as you see a slider.
It really is. I mean, I guarantee if you're up there swinging at that pitch, you can hear the spin coming in. That's how tight that spin is.
Tomas is flied out, hit into a double play, and he's popped out to Belt. Careful on the first pitch.
Wow. Post pitch.
Two and 0.
Yeah, now a guy with power's got some leverage. Tomas with 5 home runs on the year, sitting on a 2-0 count. He will gamble here.
Three and 0. Right down the pipe. 3 balls and 1 strike. But now you got to be a little bit more careful. And the walk. I think the first pitch messed up that whole at bat.
Well, he should have had a strike, and he didn't get it. You're right.
Ahmed is going to pinch run. Drew's had a nice game. He's 3 for 3. Now it's also got to keep Ahmed close. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Good pitch.
Ricky Weeks is on deck.
Heads up.
Wow. 1 ball and 1 strike. I have no idea how he got out of the way. Start leaning a little bit, and then the ball just keeps chasing you.
That is just a heat seeker. 2-seam movement born in on him.
Base hit. Pagan's throw is late, and it's 1st and 3rd. Drury is 4 for 4. Weeks against Casilla Lifetime is 0 for 4 with 1 strikeout. And he takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, and Casilla's equipped now to get the ground ball. I mean, he's got 2 good hard pitches, a sinker with 2 seamers and a little cutter if he keeps it down around the knees. Both pitches, and really the curveball, as much downward snap as he have, all 3 of those pitches can get ground balls.
There's a strike to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Try and get that double play early in the count. You get to a 2-strike count, then try and strike him out.
Good breaking ball, 1 and 2.
Weak side was high. Curveball just snapping right at the belt. Haven't seen many of those called a strike today.
Well, it'll make you think about the next one.
Well, now he's got a 2-strike count on him. He'll try and strike him out.
He's ahead in the count. On the ground. That's 1 and not in time. The tying run scores, and I'll bet the Giants will take a look at this. Belt usually does a good job of staying on the bag.
Gabe Morales, the first base umpire. Let's take a look. Crawford going as fast as he can to try and hurry it up.
This game's over.
He got him. Just a question now whether or not Crawford stayed in contact with the bag at second. They definitely got him at first. There's no question they got him at first. It was a tremendous play from Belt. And he did have his foot on the base. Dig out the high scoop, and that foot is there. And he held there a long time.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity. You have to also know that the base runner at second hasn't left. You might see a review here, and then you might see Chip Hale review the play at second.
That's exactly what you're going to see, given what's at stake here.
And I think we're good both ways.
Well, this is going to take a while, partner. Because they're going to have to look at both sides, second base and first base.
Now, I think Hunter Wendelstein went over and said, do you want to review if Belt was on the bag? And I think Chip Hale said absolutely.
Oh, he has to. Otherwise, it's a loss. You got to review every part of this play. Let's take a look at Crawford. And I do believe that he got it. But I don't know if that's the only look you have at second base. I mean, there's no question in my mind that he got him at first base.
And it may be now that Wendelstedt will say, you know what, look at both of them.
Jerry Lane, the crew chief, and the whole ballpark on hold here as they try to sort this out. So Wendelstedt's telling Jerry Lane, tell him to look at second base too. If the only look you have at second base is the one we saw, which is partially blocked by the runner, here's another look here.
On the bag. Well, I mean, look, he may have been on the other side of the bag where we can't see where his foot was.
I don't know if there's enough at second base to overturn it. I do think there's enough at first base to overturn it.
And I think that's what we've been having to deal with over the last couple of weeks is not enough. This game is over.
Wow.
So the Giants win this one. The umpire made the wrong call at the beginning. He said the play at second was safe and out at first, and then he went, no, that's not right. So the Giants turn a double play to end the ball game, and it goes 4-6-3. And this is what we're talking about. Now, this is what the umpire said. All right, look. At second, safe. No, that's stop.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yep.
April Fools.
Woohoo.
Would you like to explain this to me?
Just another laugher.
Giants sweep the Diamondbacks. And they do it this afternoon by a final of 2-1. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live starts right now.